Good afternoon and welcome to today's matchup between your Taft Tigers and the visiting Rainier Columbians. Today is a top 10 matchup between these two squads. The Rainier Columbians with a 4-3 record are the number 2 ranked team in the state. The Taft Tigers with a 4-6 record are the number 9 ranked team in the state according to the OSAA algorithms. These two teams are quite familiar with one another. They played a doubleheader early in the season last year here at the Pit. Tigers won both of those games. One of the games had a little bit of controversy when departed senior Dawson Carr hit a home run and then failed to hit second base according to the field umpire. So his home run, it scored 1 run. It didn't score a second run, as Tigers had 2 narrow victories against the Columbians, who are a very talented team. Tigers also went up to Rainier 2 seasons ago, so when this senior class was a group of sophomores, they had a big victory there in the first round of the playoffs. Of course, that season for the Tigers, they were without Jack Stemple, so when they went out to Stanfield, they had Caleb pitch in the first game, didn't have Jack available in the second game. For Taft, though, that's going to kind of be the name of the game this year. You thought you were going to have a solid 1-2 at the top with Cam Kessler and Blaze Kimbrough. Instead, it's going to be the Tigers without the services of Cam Kessler on the season, as we still got him in our stat books. He's got a .417 average, as last season Cam hit .256 on the season, had made a big uptick in his not just his slugging, which was already there, but his ability to make contact and get on base. So Tigers, we'll take a quick look here at the lineups for each team. But first, let's go over, we said the OSAA top 10, so we'll show that to you right now, as in the background, actually, you've got the national anthem going, so I'll be a little bit more quiet here. As top 10 rankings, Brookings Harbor at 1, Rainier at 2, Aragon Knights 3, Lapine Hawks 4, Sandy Ann Christian Eagles 5, Pleasant Hill Billies 6, Joseph Eagles 7, Douglas is 8, Taft Tigers 9, and Warrenton Warriors are 10. The coaches poll very similar with a few changes, as Rainier falls to the 4 spot. Brookings remains in the number 1 spot, followed by the Lapine Hawks, Pleasant Hill Billies, then Rainier, Sandy Ann Christian in 5, Joseph 6, Aragon 7. Taft moves up a spot to 8, as does Warrenton, as Douglas drops down to the 10 spot. And then as far as the league standings go, first league games played today, the way it's going to work out is next 5 Tuesdays, if no rainouts occur, we'll have a single game on Tuesdays, and then Fridays will be double headers. As we've got overcast skies today for this one, as wind is moving out from home plate to center field, so provide direction, kind of a west-northwest wind today. The Tigers are hoping that their performances at the Pit continue to pay off for them, as they scored 11 runs in the last game against Dayton, 7 against Sandy Ann Christian, as Pitt's usually been pretty good for the Tigers at home, as we've got the all-turf infield and then an all-grass outfield. Dimensions of the field for Tigers, it's 365 to center and then 310 to the poles, as each team has some talented players returning. Last season, Austin Cantrell made the first team All-State selection as a junior for the Tigers. Of course, they're the only team to have 3 players on the first team list. They're all departed, Jack, Josh, and Caleb. Taft also had Eli make the honorable mention list as a catcher. And for the Columbians, senior shortstop Joey Tripp was a second team selection as an infielder. Of course, during the senior season, Joey Tripp has had a phenomenal senior year. He was the player of the year in football, as Rainier had an undefeated season, winning a state championship, as they then qualified for the state tournament in basketball, where they fell in the opening round to the Nissa Bulldogs. So Rainier, one of the teams expected to compete for the top 3 spots here in Special District 1. For the Tigers, they're going to start off with some games here early on the year in league play, as they're going to have a double header against Warrenton coming up on Friday, and then Tuesday, quick trip out to Willamina, and then Friday, a double header against Catlin Gable. Tigers definitely need to win all three of those games this next week, but if they can go 3-0 this week, they're going to put themselves in a very big spot heading into the second round of play, as the Columbians, they're going to have a big game coming up themselves on Friday. It's going to be a rivalry game for them, as this game, very important to get today, but for the Columbians, they'll play their rivals, Klatskanai, on Friday at home for the doubleheader. So 3 games against each team in the league, as you'll get at least one at home and then a doubleheader at the other place. So, as the Rainier Columbians come to the plate, take a quick look at the Rainier batting lineup. It's going to be the senior Joey Tripp, followed by his little brother, the freshman Kenny Tripp, Jordan Kangas, and the pitcher Austin Cantrell. So the senior steps in for the first pitch of the game from DeMello. Gets him on the inside part of the plate, strike one. So good start for Eli today. He leads the team in innings pitched with 19 2/3. The 0-1 gets him swinging low. So an 0-2 count early for DeMello. Good spot for the Tigers. Eli, we mentioned, almost 20 innings. He's got 20 strikeouts on the season. And he's got it there. Caden, though, unable to control it. Here's the throw down to first to Blaze in time for the strikeout throw out for the Tigers. Eli DeMello now tied with Blaze in the lead with 21 strikeouts on the season for the Tigers as they get the opening man out at first. In steps Kenny Tripp. As he calls, or I think the umpire may have said he's got to take off the wristband. So he'll come back around. Coach Carnes, in his second season for the Columbians, down along the third base line. Foul tip, strike one. So Eli sharp early for the Columbians. Assistant coach Jeff Tripp out at first base. The 0-1 fouled out of play. And again, Eli's got Tripp brother out down 0-2. The 0-2 hit up the middle. Cody will field it. Here's the throw to first in time to get the freshman Tripp on the 6-3 ground out. 2 down now for the Tigers as Jordan Kangas comes to the plate, the third baseman. So strong start for Eli. As that's the first ball thrown today, low and away to Kangas, the third baseman. And then on deck, be the pitcher Cantrell. The 1-0 misses low and away. So 2-0 for DeMello with 2 down, top of the first. That one fouled and somehow got underneath the legs of Caden there. First strike to Kangas. Not a lot of wind right now. It is moving out toward center field. And that one misses inside, ball 3. So Eli from the windup on the 3-1. Fastball hit down the third base line and foul as Jordan Hall scoops it up. Quick look defensively at the lineup for the Tigers. Eli, of course, on the mound, pitching to Caden Hindman. Blaze Kimbrough at first. Pico Ramos, second base. Jordan Hall at third. Cody Knott, shortstop. In left field, Darius Smith. Ty Fisher in center field, and Trenton Fisher in right. 3-2. Misses low, ball 4. So Kangas gets on via a walk, brings up Austin Cantrell. Early in the season, if there's been one problem for the Tigers, it's been the walks allowed. But when you have 2 All-State pitchers last season, that's to be expected, that the numbers early on aren't going to look like they did last year. Kangas takes off first pitch. Here's the throw from Caden behind the bag, though, as Cody comes over. So strike at the plate, but a stolen base for Kangas as he tries to move into scoring position for Cantrell. On deck is the first baseman, Logan Kaiser. So Eli will throw from the stretch. 2 down, the 0-1 curveball. Swung, played it in the outfield. Ty runs over to it with Trenton, and Ty makes the catch as the hat comes off. So no hits, 1 left on base for the Columbians as we head now down into the bottom of the first for the Tigers. They'll be coming up with Trenton Fisher leading things off along with Eli DeMello and Cody Knott. We'll be back in third. Wonderful game of back and forth for the Tigers on the season with a 4-6 record. They've played some very tough opponents, but now it's time for the Tigers to show that, yes, we are a very tough opponent ourselves. So Cantrell on the mound, throwing to Preston Setzer behind the plate. So Trenton Fisher now. And he's been one player who's definitely stepped up his numbers a whole lot on the season. As that pitch hits the outside part of the plate, strike 1 for Cantrell. As Trenton hitting .344 on the season. The 0-1 inside, curveball misses. So 1-1 now. So Preston Setzer behind the plate. Logan Kaiser at first base. Kenny Tripp at second. That pitch swung, hit to Joey Tripp at shortstop. Collects, throws to first. Kaiser comes off the bag and does not get the tag in time. So E6 on the throwing error gets Trenton Fisher on base for Eli DeMello. So Eli comes to the plate now. He leads the team with a .394 average on the season, which is right about where he hit last season. I think he was .396, I want to say. So Cantrell from the stretch with Trenton on. Bunt shown by Eli. Strike called. So we'll see if Coach Hilgers likes to play small ball here, try and get Trenton over to second base. Figure each team trying to throw out their best stuff today. Curveball inside, misses again. So Cantrell has found his fastball here early. Curveball, though, is missing inside. The 1-1. That one's high and away, ball 2. finish out the defensive lineup for the Columbians. Jordan Kangas at third, Joey Tripp at short, Jaden Robin left, Hunter Bolch in center, and Tanner Chapman in right field. On deck for the Tigers is senior Cody Knott. 2-1 for Cantrell. Swung high, popped up out of play. Will it stay in play as Setzer pulls off the mask, but that one's gone. 2-2 count now for DeMello at the plate. So coming up, as we said, there will be a doubleheader for the Tigers on Friday, doubleheader for the Columbians against Clatskanie. So for Taft, might be that they start this week one off at home against perhaps the two toughest teams that they'll be playing in league. If you look at the OSAA and coaches standings, that's obviously correct. All three of these teams are in the top 10. So the 2-2 with Trenton at first. This one's hit into left center field. It's going to fall as that one gets into the gap. It's collected by Bolch. Trenton gets to third. Eli gets to second as Eli's got a stand-up double as he flexes out at second base. And Cody Knott comes to the plate now with runners on second and third following a solid double in the gap by Eli, as that extends his team leading category in hits to 14 now. And for Taft, this is precisely what they want to see. Lots of guys on play on the bases with nobody down. So Cantrell from the stretch against Knott. Gets him swinging strike one. So Cody, 387 on the season. And he swings at that one outside as a breaking pitch was headed out of the zone. Cody trying to take it opposite there. Now he's got an 0-2 count. Cantrell, we've seen him. He's comfortable throwing that curveball. Got to protect anything close. This one's hit this time right center field. It's going to stay in the air, though, for Bolch. Makes the catch. Here's the tag at third from Trenton, who scores easily on the plate. RBI sac fly by Cody Knott scores the first run of the game for the Tigers. It's Trenton Fisher, and Eli tags from second and heads over to third. So the big unit, Ty Fisher, will step to the plate now with the Tigers on top by a score of 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch from Cantrell is low enough in the zone that it still hits the strike zone. Strike one. And strike two as Ty's caught looking there at that pitch outside. So one down for the Tigers, trying to get another base runner and bring Eli DeMello in from third. And he gets him swinging on the curveball. So two down now for the Columbians as Blaze Kimbrough will come to the plate with Darius Smith on deck. And this one's hit the other way to right field. Tanner Chapman makes the shoestring catch. No, they say. It's a single. That one, it's tough to see through that chain link fence that time. Chapman unable to get to it, so an RBI single for Blaze Kimbrough, who wasn't even able to get Blaze up on my board yet before it's time for Darius to come by, and the Tigers now lead 2-0. And this one's fouled out of play, strike one. So bottom one, Tigers up 2-0 with two down. And he gets him swinging strike two, and then here's a throw down to first base. Tag applied by Kaiser, not in time, but Darius Smith down 0-2. Saw him go curveball outside last time to Ty for the strikeout. That pitch is high, so ball one to Darius. As Setzer looked like he wanted to go back to first base on that throw. So 1-2 count with 2 down, bottom of the first for Darius. And gets him swinging there on the breaking pitch. Second strikeout of the inning, but not before the Tigers get 2 hits. They strand 1 on the bases, but they lead the Columbians now 2-0 as we come back for you here in 60 seconds on your Tigers Radio Network. So as we come back now in the top of the second inning with the Tigers up 2-0 against the Columbians, it'll be the first baseman Logan Kaiser going up against Eli DeMello on the mound. First pitch from Eli, skips in low, ball 1. On deck will be the left fielder Jaden Robb, followed by center fielder Hunter Bolch. So Taft, a good strong start. Eli's going to ask for new ball from the plate umpire there. As we've had a little bit of rain today. It's about an hour before first pitch. It was coming down. Kind of call it slick. It's dry right now in the skies. It doesn't mean the field is, though. As this one goes into left field, and it gets on the line. That's a fair ball for Logan Kaiser as he rounds first and stays there. Darius makes the throw to Cody, but it'll be the first hit of the game for the Columbians. Logan Kaiser gets leadoff single. So then I'll bring up Jaden Robb now. So Robb, first left-handed hitter of the day. For the Tigers, they had a left-handed hitter, Cam Kessler, who we talked about at the beginning. He's out. That pitch inside, strike 1 for Eli against Robb. So Kaiser at first base doesn't look like he's a threat to steal like Kangas was back in the first. Eli from the stretch with the 0-1. And he gets him swinging, strike 2. Came back inside that time. So with a runner on first base and an 0-2 count, like to see Eli get this one himself at the plate right here. Looking at the flag in center field, no wind. And this one's hit foul along the first base line as assistant coach Jeff Tripp unable to make the barehanded grab there. Coach Hildress, he prides himself on his ability to get ground balls in the coach's box. Coach King, he doesn't really care. So an 0-2 for Eli now. Leans in. That pitch inside as Jaden Robb leans away from it. 1-2. Important for the Tigers to be crisp today. They got 2 runs, but they know they're going to have to do a whole lot more than that today. A 1-2 from Eli. In the dirt, Caden with a good block. 2-2 count now. Tigers infield, Blaze at first, Fico second, Jordan third, Cody at shortstop. Anything hit hard, they've got a chance perhaps to turn two. That one low as he's going to take off for second. Here's the throw. Tag applied in time. So a great heads-up play by the freshman Caden Heineman on 2 counts. First, he made a good block at the plate, and then Logan Kaiser thought that he was going to be able to go from his secondary lead all the way down to second base. Caden made the throw to Cody, who made the tag. It's a full count at the plate now with 1 down, nobody on. And that one's in the dirt, so Jaden Robb replaces Kaiser, but there's 1 down here in the top of the second inning for Hunter Bolch, who now steps in. And then on deck now is the right fielder, Tanner Chapman. Bunt showed, strike called. Now Robb at first base looks like he might take off here, but after Caden just threw Kaiser out, we'll see if Coach Carnes likes to keep his runners in motion. The 0-1 count, bunt shown again, pulls it back, pitch is low, ball 1. So Eli on the season, he's got 4 walks allowed, so he's done good in that regard, as a plate ump wanted to call strike there, and he held off. 2-1 count. Bolch steps back into the box. As Hall, he's got his toes on the grass at third. That one's low. It gets behind Caden, and that will get Robb down to second base. As Eli, he's had some pitches thrown low here early on. That's a 3-1 count now for Bolch. Well, the senior center fielder with a 3-1 count against the junior pitcher. Throw to the plate. Outside corner, strike 2. It's a good opportunity here for Eli to get one himself. Got a little bit of wind picking up here on this overcast day at the pit in Lincoln City. Sun trying to peek through, though. The 3-2 gets him in the same spot as the last time, this time looking to out here in the top of the second, as DeMello has his second strikeout of the game so far, brings up the right fielder Tanner Chapman with Jaden Robb over at second base. And then on deck is the catcher, Preston Setzer. That pitch, same spot, but a little bit low that time for ball 1, as Eli trying to work the outside part of the plate here against the bottom of the lineup. The 1-0 hit to Cody at short, makes the catch, and he hesitates on the throw, but he gets it in time for the 6-3 ground out to end the inning. For the Columbians, they get 1 hit, they leave 1 on the bases, and the Tigers still lead 2-0 heading to the bottom of the second. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH as we're here in the bottom of the second inning with the Taft Tigers leading the Rainier Columbians 2-0. And it is the freshman Caden Heineman who is at the plate right now. As that pitch inside for a ball from Cantrell comes the other way, this time away for ball 2. 2-0 count. Tigers have their 7, 8, 9 hitters going up against a very talented pitcher. This one hit high, fouled back, and out of play. Strike one as that one hits the top of our beautiful press box. I guess it's not actually a press box. It's the players' lounge, and they let me use it as the press box. Either way, very wonderful digs for me. As Caden goes past the third baseman, hard hit through the gap by the freshman. He's been on a stroll lately. And not just a gander through the park looking at the birds. He's on a mission to get around the bases as fast as he can for the young man. His 5th hit of the season. I think that's now a 3-game hitting streak for him as well. And we're going to have a courtesy runner. So Caden, as a catcher, will come out. And I think that is Trenton Hall who ran out there. I think he's just wearing a different number today. So Fico Ramos comes to the plate. Cantrell will go from the stretch. It's the 3rd hit of the game here for the Tigers. As Fico shows bunt, so the third baseman, Kangas, comes forward. He goes down the first base line, played by Cantrell, unable to make the tag. Fico's safe at first. And a beautiful play by fabulous Fico Ramos. Kangas came up from third base because he saw Fico showing bunt. Fico dropped it down the first base line. Cantrell tried to scoop and tag, unable to do it cleanly. Back-to-back singles now have runners on first and second for the Tigers and designated hitter Ethan Thomas. With nobody down in the bottom of the second. From the stretch, bunt shown, gets it down along the first base line. Here comes Kaiser, throw to first base to trip in time. And it's a beautiful sac bunt by Ethan Thomas that does exactly what Coach Hilgers asked him to do, as Fico goes to second and Trenton Hall goes to third. And now the Tigers are back to the top of the lineup with Trenton Fisher, as Trenton, he reached via a throwing error, and right now the Columbians infielders are playing up on the grass. Trenton with one down, prime opportunity, curveball, inside high. That is one area where Trenton does lead the team, as he's got 9 walks. The next closest tie-in, Darius, with 6. He's going to put this one into left field. Trenton Hall is going to go back to third to tag. There's the catch. Here's the throw to the plate. Hall runs, slides. Here's the throw to second. Is he safe at home? Safe at third. And a sac fly from Trenton Fisher gets the Tigers their 3rd run of the game early on. And Fico Ramos heads down to third on the sacrifice. So Eli DeMello steps in with a runner on third, and Taft leading Rainier 3-0. In the bottom of the second inning. Some rain starting to come down now. Eli, first pitch swinging, trip, he'll take it. Then it's going to score the run. Throw to first is in time, and so the run does not score. So for the Tigers, they leave one on the bases. They get 2 hits, they score 1, and they're now going top 3 with the 3-0 lead back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH, where your Taft Tigers lead the visiting Rainier Columbians, the number 2 ranked team in the state, 3-0, with the rain starting to come down now for the first time in this game. We'll see how Eli responds on the mound. That pitch gets him swinging, strike one to the catcher, Setzer. So a few umbrellas being brought out now. Of course, as I mentioned last inning, I've got great digs and the wind is going the right way. Eli misses and he hits Setzer. So he heads on down to first base. And as we said, Tigers do not want to give up free passes. 24th hit batter of the season for Taft. It's the 5th one for Eli. And it's back to the top of the lineup now, as it's Joey Tripp. He struck out, and it was a dropped strike 3. Takes off running to second. Here's the throw from Caden. Tag goes off the bag, and he makes the out. So Setzer was there, but he came off the bag and gets caught stealing. It's a strike at the plate against Tripp, as Coach Carnes wants to come out and talk to the field umpire about this, as he thought his catcher was able to hold on to and hang on to second base. Setzer is hanging out at second, and he's now reluctantly heading back into the dugout. So one down for the Tigers. Caden Heineman now with 2 throwouts from behind the plate. And for Taft, another opportunity where that they've helped squander for the Columbians by making a good throw, and then Cody did a good job by, just because Setzer got in at first doesn't mean he doesn't have his momentum carry him off like that, and made the tag at the right time. The 0-1 to Tripp. Curveball hit to Fico at second. Backhands, throws to Blaze, goes high, makes the catch. Not that high, I guess. Just Blaze kind of embellished. He thought he was going up a little higher than that. 4-3 ground out now. Has 2 down for the Tigers as the freshman second baseman, Kenny Tripp, comes to the plate. Kenny grounded out to Cody back in the top of the first inning. Hard pitch inside. Kenny Tripp, though, is going to put this into the outfield. Tai gets behind it. Tripp's going to run, though, to second. Here's the throw. Cody to try and make the tag. Did he get him? He did, as Kenny Tripp gets a single, and then he gets thrown out on the base pass by Trenton Fisher, who gets a low 5 from 0 coming in from left field. There's the one from his pitcher. A heads-up play by the Tigers outfielders to come up with the throw out. We're going bottom 3 with the Tigers leading the Columbians 3-0 back in 30 seconds on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH. As for the Tigers, they're going to bring to the plate this inning their 3-4-5 batters. So good spot for Taft to try and continue this lead here early on. Bottom 3, they lead the Columbians 3-0. So Cody, he had a sac fly back in the first inning to score the first runs of the game for the Tigers. Austin Cantrell continues on the mound as rain continues to come down. As asked Coach Carnes for the Columbians if he's used to playing in the rain, he just gave me an oh yeah. It's Coast Tigers versus the Columbians right off the Columbia. First pitch swinging to Cody Knott, strike 1. So here's the 0-1. That one missed. Oh, I thought that was outside, but he says it nicked A corner, strike two. So Cody got to protect now. That curveball inside. Cantrell wanted that one, but, well, if you give him that one and you take away the last one, then everything equals out. It's a 1-2 count either way. No wind right now. As rain's about a 3.5. Cody swings, hits this one to the third baseman. It goes off the chest to Jordan Kangas, and Cody's going to come up with a leadoff attempt on base following the second error of the game. So Cody, with good speed on the bases, may see the arm of Preston Setzer now, as this brings Ty Fisher to the plate. Ty had a strikeout in his first attempt. Here's the throw to first. It gets away. Cody is going to take off for second. Here's the throw, and they won't make it. Cody with such great wheels, as that ball barely got outside to the outfield grass, and Cody Knott got up quickly. And you know why? Because Cody Knott's a wrestler, and he has done more up-downs than you would care to think about in the last 4 months. So, remains a 0-0 count for Ty at the plate. He's now got Cody at second base. Kenny Tripp comes over from second as Ty shows bunt. Kaiser's all the way in at first. Pitch inside. Ty pulls it back. 1-0. So the Tigers are trying to do their best to put as much pressure on the Columbians and see how they can handle it here. The Tigers, they're going to make a trip back on Friday, April 26th for the return match. It'll be a doubleheader at Rainier. Bunt shown, and this time the curveball gets through. Ty unable to hit it, so a 1-1 count. As Ty trying to get Cody over to third with Blaze on deck. Ty's hitting .344 on the season. I might just let him hit. He drops the bunt down. Cantrell scoops, looks at third, throws to first. It's high. Ty on the bag, safe. As Rainier is wanting to appeal this, but you also have to let Ty have space to come to first. Carnes is going to come out. Right now, I've got this in my book as an E1. Cantrell. Pitchers sometimes, they're so great going 60 feet 6 inches, but as soon as they got to throw to first base on a ground ball, unable. As a field ump, after speaking with Coach Carnes, is now going to speak to the plate ump for the final ruling on this. So right now, Cody's at third either way. The question is Ty safe at first, or is there one out? And he says he is safe. So I'm calling it an E1 in my book, as the throw brought Kaiser off the bag. So that'll be the third error now of the game for the Columbians here in the bottom of the third. Runners on the corners for the Tigers. We'll see if Ty Fisher takes off to second. This one low to Blaze, ball one. And on the season, Blaze is tied for second with runs batted in with Eli. Actually, no, after today's game, after the first inning, he's second with 8 as he swats one behind the back and foul of Cody Knott at third. So 1-1 count for Blaze. Nobody down here in the bottom of the third with 2 on for the Tigers on the corners. Knott at third, Ty Fisher at first. Darius Smith on deck. Blaze had a single into right field back in the first that scored Eli. Ty takes off for second. Throw is high. They're going to go to second. And it gets away from Kenny Tripp, and Cody Knott now will come in and score on the play. So Ty gets a stolen base, and then Cody steals home. And that will be stolen base on that series, number 10 and 11 on the season for Cody Knott, who leads the team by a wide margin in that category. And the Tigers are now up 4-0 against the number 2 team in the state here in the bottom of the third. Cantrell, hard throw outside, misses, ball 2 to Kimbrough at the plate. Or 3-1 count, as that last pitch had missed on the steal attempt. So Ty at second. Blaze back up the middle, trying to trade places with Ty. He gets the signal to stay at third, and the Tigers once again have runners on the corners. Blaze Kimbrough, where's this power stroke coming from? 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. As Dad next door is hooting and hollering. He's got a big smile on his face, I can tell you that. And once again, I think I miss getting Blaze in my lineup on our YouTube broadcast that we've got. That video will be uploaded overnight for you. Of course, we love our Taft Tiger sponsors. As we're here in the bottom of the third inning, we've got a great game for Taft, that is. As Darius, he hits this one foul down the right field side of play and out. His first at-bat, he struck out. Now Blaze, not known for his speed, he does have 2 stolen bases on the year. Don't know if they'll put him in motion here or not. Cantrell, curveball out in front. Darius, got to keep the weight back down 0-2 now. And on deck is the catcher, Caden Heineman. He had a single to lead off the second. And Darius puts this one into left field. That scores tie. And Blaze advances to second on the RBI single from 0. A great piece of hitting from Darius, his 5th hit of the season. Brings up Caden Heineman, the freshman. We mentioned he's been having a good streak of play lately. Part of that is that while he wasn't expected to be the full-time catcher with the injury to Kessler, he is showing that he's ready to play. He shows a bunt here. He drops it down. Cantrell, he's just going to make the play to first. A hard throw from Cantrell this time to Kenny Tripp in time. It'll go down as a 1-4 ground out, and it'll be the first out of the inning as Darius moves up to second, and Blaze is all the way over to third. Tigers have scored 2 runs this inning with only 1 out. Fico Ramos to the plate. He had a single back in the second as well. That pitch is low. It gets away, but Blaze doesn't get that far away from Preston Setzer for Blaze to take off. Tigers, 2 hits in the first, 2 hits in the second. They've got 2 hits here in the third. Looking for another hit. That one gets the outside upper part of the plate. Strike 1 to Fico. So 1-1 count to the sophomore second baseman today. Fico has been playing there on that right side of the infield. And goes down the middle of the plate with a heater there. Strike 2 for Cantrell. Tigers at the bottom of the lineup looking to produce. They did a great job last time. Curveball, hit, fouled out, a play by Fico. Good job to stay alive on that one. As we said, anything close. Read an interesting story about Major League Baseball umpires and about their call accuracy. And when they get to 2 strikes, umpires are more likely to call a ball a strike and ring you up, which only brings that adage home about protecting the plate. And that one's away. Blaze is going to go for home. Setzer, he gets to it. A wild throw to Cantrell. Blaze underneath the throw. And a wild pitch scores Blaze Kimbrough from third base. It's the 6th run of the game now for the Tigers, as they have had one heck of a day so far. They are up 6-0. My scoreboard on YouTube right now is all wonky. Don't even have it right. As that one's popped up, Kaiser going to try and play it at first, and it gets out of play. Foul. So count remains 2-2 for Fico Ramos, with Darius Smith over at third base following the wild pitch that scored Blaze. We're here bottom 3, Taft 6, Rainier 0. That one gets away from Setzer, and this will score Darius is 0. He gets 0-60 rather quickly. And back-to-back wild pitches now make this a 7-0 lead for the Tigers. Fico Ramos with a full count. He wants to get on the base paths and score his first run of the day. On deck is the designated hitter, Ethan Thomas. There's 1 out. here in the bottom of the third. The Tigers got 6 hits so far on the day to score their 7 runs. For the Columbians, they do have 3 errors. Infield is going to play back right now on this full count. Fico swings, foul, and off the left hand of Coach Hildress, who then tries to outrace Jordan Kangas at third for it. So Cantrell asks for a new ball behind the plate. He gets it. So it's a long bus ride out here. As we said, Tigers will make the return trip on April 26th for the doubleheader. Curveball, and he gets him. Check swing by Fico, but that was a great breaking pitch for Cantrell to get the second out of the inning. So in steps Ethan Thomas, as he had a sac fly last time. And that scored Trenton Hall, I want to say, who was the base runner for the courtesy runner for Caden Heineman on that play. That pitch is high to Ethan, ball 1. Of course, Ethan as a 9 batter. That means on deck is the leadoff man, Trenton Fisher, as that one's fouled into the cage. Trenton will go chase it down. So 2 down. The Tigers scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and they've scored 4 here in the third. If they want to try and put the mercy rule in effect, they need more base runners here as Ethan looks to get on. He swings at that one, strike 2. So Cantrell throwing hard, but the Tigers, they've been able to catch up to it. And he gets him looking. That's the 4th strikeout of the game. Second one looking, or the first looking for Cantrell. As he retires the last 3 batters, the Tigers get 2 hits. They stranded nobody. They score 4. They're in the bottom of the third. We go top 4. Taft leading 7-0 back in 60 seconds on your Tigers radio network.
Wait for the Columbians, number 20, third baseman Jordan Kangas.
Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH here in the top of the 4th is Eli DeMello. Starts it off against Jordan Kangas, who hits one foul down the third base line towards Jordan Hall. Kangas got on via a walk. He then had a stolen base and then stayed at second because Cantrell would then fly out to Ty Fisher in right center field the next play. It's been only stranded base runner. As he gets a big hack at that one, goes down 0-2 to Eli. He's got 2 strikeouts today through 3 innings of work, 22 on the season for the junior. As right-hander comes back, fouled in on inside against Kangas, stays alive with the foul tip. On deck is Cantrell. Then it'll be Logan Kaiser. So it's the 3, 4, 5 batters right now for the Columbians who look to try and get themselves back into it down 7-0. Tigers, though, with no rain on the field right now. Curveball misses high. Ball 1. Taft, though, they want to protect the pit, come up with the first league win of the season. I believe the other league game that's going on today is Klatskanai is hosting Catlin Gable. Curveball misses. Eli was hoping to get that one, but it was inside. So a 2-2 count. And then Thursday, Warrenton will host Willamina. And this one down the middle, fouled up out of play. So for Warrenton, that means they're going to play 3 games in 2 days, with the game against Willamina, a game they're expected to win. And then they'll be coming down the coast here for the doubleheader on Friday. Warrenton, a good team with a good bullpen. And he gets him swinging at the high heat. 3rd strikeout of the game for the skipper, as that brings up Austin Cantrell now for the 2nd time today. As Tigers, a good win here today. Gets them a strong start, but that's all it means, as Cantrell puts one just past a diving Cody Knott. So 2nd hit of the day now for the Columbians, and brings up the other man with the hit, Logan Kaiser. He had that to lead off the 2nd, but then he would get caught stealing. So Logan Kaiser now will step in as they're waiting for the on-deck man, Jaden Robb, to pick up the loose bat there from Cantrell's single. First pitch, that one is low for ball 1. So Cantrell, he stays on the bases. As we said earlier with Caden, when he got a courtesy runner, pitchers and catchers are allowed that. So 1-0 count, 1 down, top of the 4th. And this one hit high in the infield. Cody's going to call out for it, and he makes the catch. So pop-up 6 to Cody Knott, 2nd out of the inning, brings up the left fielder, Jaden Robb. So the senior, in his first at-bat today, he got a walk, and then he advanced to 2nd on a wild pitch. Bataille would strike Hunter Bulch out looking, and then get a 6-3 ground out against Tanner Chapman to end the threat there in the 2nd. And he gets a first pitch strike, swinging strike to Jaden Robb, a big cut from the left-hander. Tigers here, top 4. Want to get through this one quickly while it's dry. This one down the middle, hit high. Eli's going to call for this pop-up himself. Makes the catch, looks towards the Rainier dugout, and heads back to his own as the Tigers, the Columbians strand 1 runner. They get 1 hit, and they trail the Tigers 7-0 going into the bottom of the 4th. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back to AM 1400 KBCH. You can find podcasts of these games available on our website at kbcham.com in the Taft Tigers section. As we got 3 different sections for you there, you want to go to podcast 3. So Trenton Fisher leads it off here, bottom 4. Cantrell throws him a strike on the outside part of the plate. As Tigers so far today have come up with 6 hits against Cantrell. As swinging strike 2 for Trenton. As Tigers have their 1-2-3 batters up right now. An important thing for Taft to get the win. Of course, they want to get 3 runs here. As Trenton, curveball, waits on it. Just waited a little bit, or didn't wait long enough, was all over it and hits it foul. So 0-2 for Trenton. As we said, got to protect. A little bit of wind moving out towards center field, and that one gets away from Cantrell. Of course, with nobody on, you can do that, But last inning, he had back-to-back wild pitches that scored Blaze Kimbrough and Darius Smith. So 1-2 to Trenton, inside, foul, popped up high. Will it get out? Kaiser tries to play it along the chain-link fence, but it's 3 feet away from it, and that one rolls into happy territory for Trenton as that one's foul. So Tigers with the top of the lineup looking to do damage and then go top 5, try and make quick work of it. Cantrell, curveball. This one hit and it'll stay in. Trenton will jog down to first. Cantrell makes the catch on the pop-up. First out for the Tigers brings up Eli DeMello, who's 1 for 2 today. He hammered a double into the left center gap back in the first, and then he grounded out to Tripp in the second. Sitting .394 on the season, leads the team with 14 hits. He's scored 13 runs. As that pitch misses high and away. Comes back, and this time it's the upper part of the plate. Strike 1 to Eli. Cody Knott on deck. The 1-1 misses away. Cantrell has been throwing hard, but you wonder how much he's got left in the tank. The Tigers have forced him to throw a lot of pitches. That one gets away again outside. So bottom 4 for Taft, leading Rainier 7-0 in a top 10 showdown. Pitch inside, called strike. Full count now for Eli at the plate. It's also a top 10 showdown up at the high school in the softball game, as this one goes right field, as that'll be Tanner Chapman, who comes up, makes the catch, running towards the right field foul line. Out number 2 for the Tigers. For Cody Knott, who will now come to the plate with Ty Fisher on deck. For the Lady Tigers, it feels a little bit like out of the frying pan and into the fryer. If there's a team that's been better the last couple of years at softball than Dayton, it's been Rainier. Welcome to your new league is Cantrell. Strong fastball down the middle. Misses from Cody, strike 1. But for the Lady Tigers, they've got a good squad as well. Curveball back inside, misses for Cody. Said he's got 2 stolen bases today. Increases his lead in that category to 11. Hits this one over to Kenny Tripp at second base, and he's unable to make it catch cleanly. Cody dives at first, and he is safe. As first base hit of the day, 7th of the game for Cody Knott, as he's a 2-out base runner now for the Tigers and Ty Fisher. Of course, this is a 7-inning game that we normally play. Although the Tigers, we went 10 innings a couple nights ago against Santiam Christian on the 4th. That one was tied at 7 after 9 innings of play, and finally in the 10th, the Eagles broke through. Right now, though, it's been the Tigers' offense breaking through against Cantrell as he's thrown from the stretch with Cody on first. That pitch outside. Here's a throw down to first base, not in time to get the always heady Cody Knott, as he stole second base last inning on a check throw from Cantrell over to first, and it got away from Kaiser just enough for Cody to sprint all the way to second. A foul tip into the glove from Ty as he tried to put a whole lot of mustard on that one. So 0-2 count. All right, no, it's got to be a 1-2 count. Cantrell looks over to Cody, doesn't go that way, goes to the plate, pitch outside, they ring it up as a strike, and Cody's safe at second, but Ty is out at the plate looking, as that'll be the 5th strikeout of the game for Cantrell. So the Tigers get 1 hit, they leave Cody at first base, they lead 7-0, going top 5, back in 60 seconds on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back on AM 1400 KBCH, where Tigers lead the Columbians 7-0 here in the top of the fifth with the center fielder Hunter Bulch at the plate. Hunter struck out looking to Eli back in the top of the second. As this one's hit hard over the outstretched arm of Cody Knott. First pitch single for the center fielder Hunter Bulch as he gives the Columbians a base runner here, brings up Tanner Chapman now. So just the third hit of the game so far allowed by Tye. As that pitch is low and away, but Bulch is going to stay over at first base. So 1-0 count. So Chapman grounded out to Cody in his only at-bat today, back in the bottom of the second to end the inning. As that pitch misses, low and away, ball 2. So Eli, strong 4 innings of work so far today, looking to see how much more he's got. Of course, Tigers have a doubleheader on Friday, as pitch counts and rest days are important. Foul tip, strike 1. And so for Taft, the ability to have a strong bullpen and get through games quickly and efficiently on these Tuesday games is going to help you immensely when you go into those Friday games. I mentioned earlier today that our opponent on Friday, Warrenton, they play Willamina on Thursday. This one's hit into left field where Darius isn't, as this has got a chance perhaps to score Bulch. Darius scoops at third. Here's the relay throw. He tells him to stop. Jordan Hall unable to get the throw, though. It goes all the way back to the cage. Eli's there waiting for it, but for Tanner Chapman now, a double puts 2 in scoring position for the catcher, Preston Setzer. And here in the top of the fifth, the Columbians are in their best shape of the day so far. So Setzer will come to the plate. He got a hit by a pitch back in the second, or in the top of the third. So 2 on for Eli. First pitch, swinging strike to Setzer. And for Eli, with Joey Tripp, the leadoff man on deck, you want to get this out right here. The 0-1, and that one looked nice. Not sure where it missed. Must have been high. I think that's what the umpire just said. He pointed up a bit. Setzer, not the biggest of the Columbians. 1-1 to the catcher, gets him swinging again. 1-2 count. So big opportunity here for DeMello. Sunshine peeking out across the pit. And that one is low, 2-2 count. So no wind right now. We had a little bit of rain back at the end of the second, start of the third. Comes back, gets him swinging strikeout for the first out of the inning. Brings up Joey Tripp for the third time today. And 2 times through the lineup. And Eli's got 4 strikeouts. One of those was to Joey Tripp back in the first. Also had him ground out to Fico in the third. Gets him swinging out front, strike 1. And for Taft, they can hold Rainier here, keep those base runners at second and third and get out of this inning. That'll be a real big boost for them. That one's in the dirt, ball 1. On deck is Joey's little brother, Kenny. So we go from the senior brother to the freshman. That pitch misses low and away, ball 2. 2-1 to Tripp. As Columbians 4-3 on the year, Tigers 4-6. This is the first league game, though. The top 3 teams from the league qualify as he gets them swinging through strike 2. So 2-2 count for Eli. See if he shows them something nasty. Here's the payoff. Goes high, hit up the middle, and Cody's going to come charging forward. Here's the throw to first, not in time. It gets by Blaze, and a run's going to come around as a heads-up play by Tanner Chapman. As that one just was a soft chopper, and it's going to be a score 1 as came around after the play. But for the Columbians, it's their first runs of the game now. 7-2 is the score with 1 out for the second baseman, and that'll be Kenny Tripp. Joey Tripp's going to take off on the first pitch as Kenny swings that one foul. So 0-1 for the freshman. So the Columbians get on the board for the first time today following a leadoff single and double from Bulch and Chapman. Setzer struck out, and then Tripp, third single of the day, or fourth single, fifth hit. So 3 hits here in the fifth. Eli, though, trying to get out of this jam. The 0-1 to the freshman. He's showing bunt. Eli's going to scoop. He's going to go right to Cody at second, who makes the tag. No, they say he didn't make the tag. He came off. So, a misapplied tag. Eli got it quickly. Wanted to get the leadoff runner. And the throw just brought Cody off the bag a little bit. So it'll be the first error of the game for the Tigers. That brings up Jordan Kangas. That pitch is high to Kangas. He drew a walk in the first and struck out last inning in the fourth to lead it off. So once again, 2 on the bases. Tigers are capable of pulling off a double play. Jordan Hall playing close to the bag at third. That pitch inside, ball 2. If Eli gets through this inning, perhaps we see Blaze come up in the 6th or maybe the 7th if Coach Hilgers likes to run him out. And that one misses barely high, 3-0 count to Jordan Kangas with Austin Cantrell on deck. Here's first pitch strike, looking to Kangas, who did not have the green light there to swing away with the 3-0. As that one misses away, ball 4. Bases loaded now for Austin Cantrell. Second walk of the day for Jordan Kangas. So Cantrell had a single his last at bat. He also flew out to Tye. So he's put bat on the ball both times. Coach King is going to come out, talk to Eli with Caden coming out as well. And this appears to just be a discussion. Doesn't look like they're going to make a move to change Eli here, but for the Tigers, unable to get that out on the bunt, a big difference, as right now you'd have 2 outs with just runners at second and first. You'd feel a little bit better. But it also means that hard hit ball, you can try and double up at any spot. Tigers, I'll try it once more. Austin Cantrell against Eli DeMello for the 3rd time today, this time with the bases full here in the top of the 5th, with Taft leading Rainier 7-2. Eli, that pitch misses low and away. He's not missing by much on these pitches here. And that one gets him looking, strike 1. So Cantrell definitely has a bigger strike zone than some of those other players like Kangas and Setzer. 1-1 for Eli. Comes back. This one's hit hard to Cody. He scoops, throws to second. Fico, the relay throw. Gets it. No! They say he's safe. So the run from third scores. Joey Tripp on the fielder's choice. And that, you go back to being unable to get that bunt. So third run comes across. So that'll go down as a 6-4, but they're unable to get the 3. 2 down now for Logan Kaiser. It's a 7-3 lead for Taft here. Rainier scored all of their runs here in the top of the 5th. They've come out strong knowing that Taft had got up big and been in control, but now Taft going to want to respond late. 2 outs, runners on first and third. Eli throws to first. Blaze throw is away from the bag, doesn't even bother making the tag against Cantrell. And now they have made a courtesy runner change for Cantrell. So last time I mentioned they didn't, this time they do. Here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Curveball from Eli gets him looking, strike 1 to Logan Kaiser. So Tigers want to get out of this inning and then come back up in the bottom of the 5th strong. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 part of the lineup for Taft. That pitch is low and away, as that'll allow the courtesy runner to steal. So again, not sure who that is. And this one's hit. Eli scoops it. Hill's just going to underhand it to Blaze for the 1-3 ground out. But not before the Columbians get 3 hits. They score 3 runs. They strand 2 on the bases, but now they only trail by 4. 7-3 as we head into the bottom of the 5th, back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back to AM 1400 KBCH, where we're here in the bottom of the 5th inning following a 3-run burst from the Columbians, as Cantrell issues a free pass to Blaze Kimbrough by tossing that one right into the back. So Blaze will take the free pass. For Taft, that's been one area where they haven't had, they've only been hit 8 times now on the season. They've hit 24 batters. So a 4-1 discrepancy for Taft in that category. It's been the one that definitely stands out. So courtesy runner for Blaze, as I think what that means now is that Blaze perhaps is moving to the mound. And that looks like Lucas over there at first base. It is Lucas. So Blaze takes the hit by pitch. In steps Darius Smith, who had a nice stroke, a RBI single, his last at-bat. Bunt shown. That one's high. He's got to pull it back. Strike 1 shown there. So Tigers want to get some of those runs back here in the bottom of the 5th. As big outburst from them. They need 6 runs to end this one. Right now it's just about getting some of those runs back. Play a complete, solid game against a quality opponent. Rainier's ranked 2nd in the state. That pitch outside for a ball. Throw down to first, not in time. 1-1 to Darius. As Eli's gone 5 innings so far. We'll see if he continues on the mound or if perhaps Blaze comes in the top of the 6th. For Cantrell, he's started and gone 4 innings so far. 2nd strike to Darius Smith. Looking 1-2 count for 0. As a sophomore left fielder. Looking to start a rally here for the Tigers. As they did that back in the 3rd, getting the first few guys on base. It always helps your cause. Darius is going to show bunt. He's going to get it down in play. There's the throw to first base in time, so a sac bunt for Darius Smith gets Lucas Heineman down to second base, and he does his job. In steps the catcher now, Caden Heineman. Tigers looking to just get those runs back one at a time for Caden. He's 1 for 2 today. As that one is low, misses for a ball. So Caden grounded out his last at-bat. That pitch comes back inside. This time it hits its mark, strike one. So Cantrell throwing from the stretch. He's got his brother out at second base. He'd like to see him trade spots with him by putting something in a gap. As swings through that one. 1-2 count. Joey Tripp had come all the way behind second base on that play, leaving a void at shortstop. Here comes the 1-2 to Caden. That one, oh, I thought that was outside, but you got to protect. He rings him up. The 6th strikeout of the day for Austin Cantrell. So Fico Ramos steps in, the second baseman. He's 1 for 2 today. And he pops this one up. So Joey Tripp will settle under it, make the catch on the pop-up. So the Tigers, they get no hits. They strand one on bases, and we now go top 6 with Taft leading the Columbians 7-3 back in 60 on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back here on AM 1400 KBCH to the top of the 6th inning in a 7-3 lead for the Taft Tigers against the Rainier Columbians. A matchup featuring number 2 versus number 9 as on the season. It's still a little bit early, but when you look at the coaches poll, Rainier slots in at number 4 and Tigers slot in at number 8. One of the reasons for that is Rainier played a very solid game against the number 2 team in the state at the 4A level, the Hidden Valley Mustangs. They lost 1-2 in that one. So Tigers, though, with the 7-3 lead here in the first game of Special District 1. Top 3 teams from the league advance to the round of 16 state playoffs. Eli DeMello against Jaden Robb. First pitch swinging as it gets through the gap, as it gets past Kimbrough and it gets under the glove of Fico for a leadoff single for Jaden Robb, who's now 1 for 2 today with a walk and a single. Brings up Hunter Bulch. Struck out looking his first at-bat, and then he had a single last inning. He led off last inning and then came around to score a run. So third time through the lineup here as you got the number 7 hitter. And a hard hit and through the gap at third base. Back-to-back singles once again to open up an inning for the Columbians, who are showing some fight, not going away after the Tigers got up 7-0. Now time to show some fight back by Taft. So Hunter Chapman will step in. 1 for 2 on the day with the ground out to Cody in the second. And then he hit a double, as we said, that last inning. So 2 on, nobody out. That Pitch misses low and away. Ball 1. On deck is the catcher, Preston Setzer. Tigers want to get through the bottom of the lineup here. That one is outside. Good job by Caden coming out of his stance to protect. So, no wind right now. It's overcast. We've got some sunshine. Eli gets him looking at strike 1. A big inning here for the Tigers. Each team down to their final 6 outs. Tigers want to get those out as quickly as possible. This one popped up, and it's going to just sneak over the cage and out of play. So all the fans, of course, then seeing who parked there. I hope it wasn't me. Of course, I always prefer up by the elementary school. You're always safe there. And just walk down the pit. You need the exercise anyways, right? 7-3, game, 2-2 count. Eli, that one's hit. And Cody makes the catch. He's going for the triple play. Oh, unable to get it. That might have even drawn a reaction from former Tigers coach Hankins up here, as Cody caught that one, then ran to second for the double play. And then they tried to get Bolch over at first, but he wasn't drawn off the bag quickly enough. And I think we may have a pitching substitution right now for the Tigers. And this might be a pitch count thing for Eli, as he looks like he perhaps wants to continue. But Coach Hilgers looks like a change is being made. With a pitching change, we will pause for 60 seconds as Blaze Kimbrough warms up for the Tigers here on your Taft Tigers radio network. Welcome back here to the top of the second, following a double play by Cody Knott, where he had runners on first and second. He caught the line drive from Tanner Chapman, and then he doubled up Jaden Robb by just touching the base at second. He tried to throw out Hunter Bolch at first, but Bolch hadn't been drawn that far off the bases. So after getting runners on first and second after back-to-back singles, Tigers now just have 2 outs. Just a runner on first in Bolch, with Blaze Kimbrough making his first appearance of the league season for the designated hitter now, Tyler Nelson, who steps to the plate. So I'm going to have to update my board here. As takes off, first pitch as Bolch will steal second base. Strike called at the plate to the senior Tyler Nelson. So 0-1 count for Blaze. Bolch gets to second. Here's the throw, popped up, and it's going to stay in the infield. Eli calls off Cody and makes the catch over the top of second base. So 2 hits, 1 left on the bases, no runs scored for the Columbians as we head into the bottom of the 6th, with Taft leading Rainier 7-3. Back in 30 seconds on your Tigers radio network. Welcome back here to the bottom of the sixth inning. The Tigers are on top of the Columbians by a score of 7-3 for the Tigers. It's going to be the 9 batter, the designated hitter, Ethan Thomas, who's hitting for the third baseman, Jordan Hall, today. As Austin Cantrell continues on the mound, he's gone 5 innings of work so far, as he's given up 7 hits today, but he started to settle into a groove. His Tigers scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, and they've been held scoreless the last 2 innings. Thomas looks to try and change that, but Cantrell throws him a strike 1. As Coach King heads down the first base line, Coach Hilger's down into the third base box. Pitch 2, hit to third base. Kangas plays it at third. Here's the throw over Kaiser. Comes off the bag, makes the tag in time for the 5-3 ground out. First out of the inning brings up Little Fish, the leadoff man now for the Tigers. So Trenton looks to get the Tigers back on top here with the base runner. He started the game off, reached via a throwing error from Joey Tripp. Then he had a sacrifice in the second, and he popped up to Cantrell in the fourth. So he is 0 for 2 today. And he gets him inside, strike 1 swinging. It's Taft. It's been a good game for them, but you do want to see him score another run here late for safety. And Trenton tries to get off, but Joey Tripp chases it down for the second out, makes the catch as he leaves the infield headed into the shallow outfield. So 2 down now for the Tigers, and Eli DeMello, who started the game at pitcher, but he is now moved over to shortstop. As he's trying to hit it to the shortstop, Tripp, the 2-hopper. Here's the throw to Kaiser in time. So a quick inning for Austin Cantrell. Tigers, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the top of the 7th. Blaze Kimbrough on the mound, needing 3 outs for the Tigers to get their first league win and their first try of the season. Back in 30 on your Taft Tigers radio network. Their quest to go back to the state championships, as they've been there the last 2 seasons. They want to make it a tradition of being one of the favorites. So Kimbrough against Joey Tripp. As Blaze, first pitch, gets him swinging, foul into the cage, strike 1. Senior versus senior. As Joey Tripp, as we said, beginning today, a player of the year in football. He was also a first-team All-League linebacker. He was also first-team All-League basketball. As that pitch just misses, not sure where, but it did look like a little bit inside, actually. And then, of course, as a second-team All-State infielder last year, looking to make it 3 for 3. Tigers, though, want to get a quick 1-2-3. This one hit high into center field. Kai just takes a few steps to his left and makes the catch. Familiar territory out there for the big unit. 1 down for the Tigers brings up little brother Kenny Tripp, the freshman second baseman. 1 for 3 today with a single back in the third. He grounded out to Cody in the first, and then he reached via error. It was a fielder's choice back in that inning where Eli got it off a bunt. He threw to Cody at second, but the throw brought Cody a little bit off the bag, was unable to make the tag, and it did have the effect of giving up an additional run. So 0-1 to Tripp at the plate after the foul tip. This one's hit. Blaze, he's got a chance. He makes the catch, throws to Fico over at first base for the 1-3 ground out. 2 down now for the Columbians as they're down to their final out here in the top of the 7th inning. It'll be the number 3 batter, the third baseman, Jordan Kangas, who's got 2 walks and a strikeout today. And down by 4, that's the name of the game for the Columbians. A home run swing would look pretty, but down 4, you need base runners. That pitch is high for a ball. Of course, for the Tigers, they want to see Blaze get under this in very quick fashion. As I believe that is now just the 7th pitch thrown. That one is low and away for a ball. I think this will be pitch number 10, actually. And it's fouled off the chest protector of Caden Heinman. So 2-1 count as Cantrell, the on-deck batter, picks that one up. It's been a good showdown today between DeMello and Cantrell on the mound. The 2-1 from Blaze. Fouled back into the cage. So 2-2 count now. Pitch number 12 for Blaze. That one all the way behind Kangas, so he's got another full count. So for Blaze, I want to say the magic number is 26 on pitches. Stays under that. Of course, he's got plenty of rest time, too, so it's not that big of a deal. As Kangas puts this one into left field, Darius got to move, but he makes the move, turns, plants, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. The Tigers go to 5-6 on the season with the victory today over the Rainier Columbians by a score of 7-3. Great victory for the Tigers to open things off here in league play. Coming up on Friday, they're going to have a double header against the Warrenton Warriors at 3 o'clock. We'll take a short break and be back, tell you a little bit more about today's game coming up in 60 seconds on your Tigers Radio Network. Welcome back to AM 1400 KBCH, where the Tigers get the league victory today against the number 2 team in the state, the Rainier Columbians. It was about time to see those Tigers pull down a win against a top 5 opponent this season. They played 2 games against the Santiam Christian Eagles, 1 against Lapine, 1 against Brookings Harbor. So it's good to see the Tigers get that one. They go to 5-6 now on the season, 1-0 in league play. Eli DeMello gets the victory today on the mound. Austin Cantrell gets the loss. Tigers, they get 7 hits. They only had 1 error today defensively. They stranded 4 runners on base, and they scored 7 runs. And it is 7 hits today for the Columbians. They only, though, were able to get the 3 runs, and they ended up making 3 errors today and stranding 6 runners on base. So Tigers, player of the game, I guess, has to go to the pitcher, Eli DeMello, for limiting the ability of Rainier. He did get into a little bit of a jam back in the 5th when the Columbians scored their only 3 runs of the day. So Eli, 5 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs allowed, 4 strikeouts with 3 walks and a hit batter. Blaze Kimbrough, 1 1/3 innings in relief with 3 walks, no strikeouts, and no hits for Blaze as well. So that does it. Our final today, Taft 7 over the number 2 ranked Rainier Columbians, who scored 3 runs. No word on the Lady Tigers softball game, as that is also a top 10 showdown against the Rainier Columbian softball team. So we'll be back in action on Friday against the Warrenton Warriors, who are ranked number 9 in the state. As we said, or ranked number 10, they're ranked number 9 in the coaches poll. So another top 10 showdown coming up at the pit on Friday. First pitch will be around 3 o'clock. We'll go on air around 2:50 for that. So thanks for listening to our broadcast today on AM 1400 KBCH. I'm Eric Goss. Back to the studio here on your Taft Tiger Radio Network.